And I am Stanley Kubrick, director of such films as Eyes Wide Shut and The Killing, and Fear and Desire.
All right, and I am the co-creator of Myst. We're doing a Devs React speed run to, I believe his name is Rank Sarpac, doing this run.
Yes, I don't quite know why I am here. I had nothing to do with the development of this interactive video program that you've created.
Well, but I did. So what I can do is I can provide some guidance and commentary on what was going on with this guy, and you know, maybe some of the exploits that he was able to do throughout. There aren't a lot of exploits in Myst.
There are plenty of exploits in life, my dear boy. You need only wait.
Okay.
Do is a little different.
Okay. So this is Myst Masterpiece Edition. What we were really excited about, and the reason that we're watching this one, is because the brand new version of Myst came out that finally has VR support. And we were super excited about it.
Game, however,
I have not once ever in my years on this earth played an interactive video program.
You know, we all want to see him.
I have a great distaste for the look of them, and I don't think it's something I would enjoy very much. So, Rand, why don't you give us your thought process on creating this toy?
Well, yeah, I guess that was a little bit of what we wanted to move away from with Myst, was making it feel like a toy or a children's game. We wanted to make something that had a story, that had a lot of story and a lot of heart behind it.
I would know a thing or two about story, boy. I spent my life creating some of the best stories you've ever heard.
The speedrun began 30 seconds ago.
Well, why weren't you paying attention?
Well, I was just responding to you.
Well, why don't you respond to what's happening in front of you? Look at the boy is in a trance. He looks sick. He looks like he's going to have a very difficult time having the cognitive functions to perform this task with any kind of thing you'd call speed.
A great start.
Okay, so
Please open.
right here, you actually have a little load sequence.
Let's go.
Where you can't move, and we wanted that. We didn't want you to be able to interact for a couple seconds so that you kind of take in the look of
What is that giant cog I see in the background?
Speed running.
So the cog, he's flipping the switch now. The cog is a part of kind of what we call the first world, so to speak. You know, Myst is not a linear game. We wanted to move away from that at the time.
Yes, I also find linear stories to be boring. What are you talking about, Rand? Haven't you ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey directed by Stanley Kubrick?
Yeah, actually, I have seen 2001. Myst sort of has some roots in some of that science fiction. And we thought that was really...
Let me stop you right there, my boy. No piece of cinematic art that I've ever created has anything to do with being in the same realm as your toys.
If I stink.
Well, okay, they're totally different mediums. But, you know, Stanley...
You could call me Mr. Kubrick.
Mr. Kubrick, I just wanted to say that, you know, you were actually quite an inspiration to a lot of us at the time. We loved your films. You know, I feel like we're missing a lot of the speedrun here. He already has the paper, and he seems to be headed for the end of the game right now.
You're telling me you created a game that is mere minutes long, and you're comparing it to film and calling it art. Am I to understand that about correctly?
Harlot.
You know, I don't know if I'd put it in so many words.
I think I put it very succinctly, to be honest with you, and I think I was very kind.
That one.
So this part is kind of the bane of a lot of people.
You can't just ignore me and pretend I'm going to go away, boy. I made The Killing before you were even
I was?
born.
At night when I think of
so I don't quite know how he's I mean, obviously he's a speedrunner, so he knows the pattern already. He was a little slow to hit the button.
What does the button do, boy?
The button actually activates. Well, you see it now, Stanley, because he's playing the game as fast as he can.
See, I understand the concept of speed, boy. Don't you come at me with your placation.
It's fucking him. It's fucking.
So actually, funny story about this this actor.
Hold on, I want to hear the essence of this man's performance.
Where should I begin?
At the top. At the beginning, please.
Well, it's not.
Shut up, boy. I'm watching work.
Chris.
Real work.
Son, Sirius and Acheron, the red and blue book.
This is dreadful.
Stanley, I mean, listen, you're really not even giving it so much of a chance here.
Hold on a second.
Writing.
All of it?
I read many books.
Stanley, are you
I'll
drinking?
do what I please.
It's an art.
Now sit there and tell me more about your interactive web page.
Well, this is actually kind of the pre-internet boom. So back then, you couldn't actually download games. I'm sorry. I feel like we really need to back up here. This guy is pretty much done. I think he's just showing us the cinematic so that we can see it.
Well, the cinematic, while I do admire the symmetry and framing, and I admire the storytelling device of a moving picture book, I find the whole thing to be very uninspired.
Well, the thing is that
You are strong.
this guy is doing a speed run, which means actually, you're not going to see all of the
Why
game.
not?
Well, because the object is to beat it as fast as possible.
If you watch one of my films, do you sit down and say, "Oh, I've seen the first half of Lolita. I need no resolution to this underage, very highly inappropriate relationship"?
You beard.
You finish it, boy. You finish a Stanley Kubrick film when you watch it.
Well, I guess that's what we're doing now, because this guy, I think he's called Rank Sarpac. He doesn't seem to be skipping right past this. Most speedrunners actually they'll skip past this stuff. Okay, it looks like he's.
Where are we going now?
Did I do bad?
It looks like he thinks he messed up. but
He thinks he fucked up. Why don't you grow some balls and speak like an adult? He thinks he fucked up.
Father?
Stanley, I don't know if this is for IGN. I don't know.
Shut up, boy. Let me have my medicine.
Daddy.
So anyway, he's at the end of the game. The unfortunate thing about the speed run is you don't get to see all of the beautiful locations. He just kind of blasts by them.
I saw many locations, none of which were explored. They all merely served the purpose of showing him pulling a lever, and then nothing happened.
Well, actually, something did happen. The reason you saw him pulling all those levers, Stan,
Daddy?
is because if he does he pushes. Sorry, I'm getting flustered
Why are
here.
you flustered, boy? I need absolute confidence in you if I am to consider you a man.
Sure. Well, the thing is, if you flip all the switches up and then flip that last one down, it reveals a page, and that lets you go right to the end. And if you know the fireplace key, then you can get right to the ending. Wow, I am amazed that you let me get through that without interrupting me.
I was just refilling my medicine, boy. Don't think for a second that I stopped forgetting the abortion of cinema that I see in front of me. Give me this.
Stanley, you can't just take your mic.
You are now listening to the voice of Stanley Kubrick, director of such films as The Shining. I want you to all look very closely.
Stanley, please come
Look
back.
very closely.
They've already had it.
I directed such films as Paths of Glory, and if I were in charge of this, it would have been a hit. It would have killed in the box office. Now have it back. Tucker.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, Stan, games aren't released in theaters.
Why not?
Because you play them, Stanley. Because you play them.
Well, I play the fiddle, and does that mean I need to go to perhaps a fiddle store to play?
To deal with.
Stanley,
Thank you, Papa.
I don't know what you're getting at.
Thank you for this gift.
I don't know what you're trying to tell me.
And until you learn power, you will never create great art. Look at this. Your film has gone down in the annals of history, is long forgotten and abandoned by society, turned its back on your toy box.
Well, actually, Myst is very beloved, Stanley. In fact, the whole reason we're doing this is because there's a new version that's come out that has VR.
What is this?
It's called a VR. It stands for virtual reality.
I know what it stands for, you petulant little child. It stands for virtual reality. I'm very familiar with it.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good, Stanley. So yeah, virtual reality is where you can put on a
I
mask.
know what it is, but...
Anyway, it's like you can actually inhabit the island of Myst. It's very, very cool technology. I'm sorry, I genuinely missed most of this playthrough. I feel kind of bad, but 622, that's actually...
Well, it looks like you beat your game with speed as you so required him to do.
That is the
Actually, no. A lot of people can beat this game in under a minute. So the fact that
trivia for you.
he was obviously looking at a guide
From the past.
and it took him over 6 minutes, I wouldn't exactly call this a speed run. It's more like a
waste of time.
Tonight is not that night. You're dumb for thinking it was.
Wow.
But guess what?
I guess we finally do agree about something after all, Stan.
We will never agree about anything except that your mother and father copulating was a giant waste of time indeed, sir.